Live from the WCTV studios, this is Eyewitness News Daybreak, coverage you can count on.
Because we don't have any air conditioning, so I saw her slouch over. I realized that she's not breathing.
Happening now on Daybreak, disturbing 911 calls released just days after patients die in a South Florida nursing home.
Plus, back and forth, TCC faculty and the college struggling with contract negotiations. Find out where things now stand.
And working in live TV, we know anything can happen, even the unexpected. I'll show you how a cat made his on-camera debut in your WCTV must-see.
Come on in, fall. It sure was cool this morning.
Yeah, it kind of felt really refreshing walking out that door today. You haven't said that in a while,
It felt good this morning walking out. I almost felt like I needed to turn around and actually get a jacket.
Yeah.
It's cooler. It is definitely cooler.
This is nice, Rob. You brought it back with you.
I decided I was going to not come back to work until it finally felt like fall. I got tired of asking when it was going to be fall.
There you go.
So I guess I can come back to work now.
Rob went on strike until the weather changed.
Not convinced it's going to stay this way. So before we get too excited, maybe we call it a taste of fall. There's a look at what's going on out there right now. We still have some clouds around. Now, if we get rid of these clouds, we can calm down that breeze. Temperatures might even drop a little bit more, and I think tomorrow morning likely going to be the coolest morning. We do see, though, still some of that activity to the east. We had some of those showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder yesterday afternoon, evening, too, as we talk about a boundary making its way through the area, and that's what's helping to usher in, at least for some of us, some cooler, more fall-like temperatures. 59 degrees this morning at Mariana. Quincy, we're at 61. Thomasville, Moultrie, Valdosta, 63. As we get to Live Oak, a little bit more east, 66. Down towards Cross City, it's 69. That's not very fall-like yet. Now, the visibility, of course, they're all going to be pretty good out there today. We've got that pretty good breeze to stir things up, and I don't expect much in the way of rain on the futurecast. We may notice some stubborn clouds, especially to the south and east today, but I do think we get at least this taste of fall with temperatures today that want to stay in the 70s. We'll talk about how long this kind of weather sticks around in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks for that, Rob. New this morning, we're hearing the disturbing 911 calls capturing the chaos at this South Florida nursing home where 14 people died. That nursing home lost power during Hurricane Irma, leaving patients inside the sweltering facility with no way out.
Workers not calling 911 until 3 days later. Nicole Nansalata has more.
I'm calling because there's a patient who's on cardiac arrest. Hi, I have a patient quoting.
The calls to 911 came in one after another, clearly beginning to overwhelm the staff at the rehabilitation center at Hollywood Hills in the early morning hours of September 13th. In the aftermath of Hurricane Irma, the AC had been off for 3 days, the heat taking its toll on elderly patients.
The patient is sitting up. She's a COPD patient. I just noticed because we don't have any air conditioning. So I saw her slouch over. I realized that she's not breathing, so I check her. She's just barely breathing, and her fingers are around her mouth. It's slightly cyanotic, and her fingers started to change color, slightly blue. Oh, my God, this is crazy.
And then this from a worker at the Broward EOC.
They're saying that they're having issues with patients and there may be casualties. They're requesting ambulance assistance. Can I give you the address?
In the end, 14 died, 140 evacuated. The nursing home shut down by the state.
Florida Governor Rick Scott now enforcing new rules that require nursing homes and assisted living facilities to have generators.
This morning, Tallahassee residents speaking out after another deadly crash off Spring Hill Road on O.H. Hudson Lane. The latest victim, 48-year-old Mona Arnold.
That's right. FHP says she crashed her car into a tree Sunday night and it went up in flames. Our Erica Fernandez is here with more. And Erica, what exactly are residents saying about this wreck?
Well, good morning, Art, Venice. Residents who live in that area say speeding is the cause of those crashes. Mona Arnold is the third person to die in the last 5 months on Spring Hill Road. As for the speed limit around the curve, it's 55 miles per hour. A nearby resident who didn't want to be on camera says that she often sees people doing well over the speed limit and says something needs to be done.
If you decide to slow down when you're going around these curves, which you should, you still have the driver behind you who doesn't want to slow down, so it's like forcing you to, accelerate a little bit more.
Now, Leon County operates that road, and we reached out to them, and they say they are up to date with all required signage and signals. They also say they have not received any complaints about the road, and they hope that these accidents don't keep happening. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Erica.
Well, a Tallahassee man is arrested, accused of hitting his neighbor with his truck. TPD says 37-year-old Ronald Mason and his wife were arguing when a neighbor stepped in. Mason reportedly hopped into his pickup truck and drove towards the neighbor, grazing his right leg. Mason is charged with aggravated assault, battery, and driving with a suspended license.
A 19-year-old Jacksonville man arrested for crashing into several cars in a mall parking lot. You can see some of the damage left to those cars there. 19-year-old Derek Smith left the scene, according to police, but stopped to call 911 for injuries they say he didn't even have. He's now charged with 5 counts of hit and run, property damage, as well as driving without a license.
Governor Rick Scott declares a state of emergency for Alachua County as a white nationalist prepares to speak later this week.
White supremacists! Join us! Raise your fist! Stop white supremacists!
As you can see, protests already breaking out at the University of Florida. Dozens marching around the campus carrying signs. Richard Spencer will speak there on Thursday, ending months of debate on whether to allow it. Some students saying they will avoid campus that day, fearing for their safety.
Be anywhere near campus on Thursday. I don't feel safe being here, especially a woman of color. So I'll lean on my other friends who will be out there, but it's definitely your choice. But I definitely will be inside my house.
Police now stepping up security efforts ahead of Thursday's speech. If you remember, Spencer attended the violent rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, where one woman was killed.
Happening today, Tallahassee's Ethics Commission will discuss a complaint against city manager Rick Fernandez. It accuses him of accepting a discount from city-backed restaurant The Edison. It also claims that he helped a former Edison employee get a job at City Hall. The commission will get an update on the investigation before deciding how they will proceed.
Well, Leon County frustration surfaced as the Tallahassee Community College Board of Trustees Board hosts a meeting. The main topic, I should say, of discussion, current contract negotiations with the facility. Yeah, faculty members were speaking out about the ongoing process. Our Alex Crescenti was there.
Recently, the TCC administration declaring an impasse on the negotiations, leading to some strong words from faculty members.
Now, however, I feel the college wants me to do more work for less money. I and my colleagues are the front line in student success.
Feelings of frustration. That's what many faculty members were sharing with the Board of Trustees during Monday's board meeting.
I too work hard in my classroom, outside of my classroom. I take care of sick students if they're sick, former students.
One of the main sticking points in the discussions, a 25-hour work week, something the administration doesn't want.
Well, our faculty is the 7th highest paid faculty in the Florida college system across the state. And on the overload pay, we're #1 in the state.
However, several faculty members say those 25 hours do not include all of the time they spend outside of school preparing, grading, and working with students.
If they actually have us do 40 hours on campus, we would be doing about 60 hours because we spend a lot of time at home.
Monday's meeting bringing out a few dozen faculty members who say they just want to make sure there's a fair deal on both sides.
We are the ones that teach the classes. The students are here for us and to come to learn from us. And so that's why.
Speaking with TCC and faculty members, both tell me while these contract negotiations are taking a long time, it's not impacting the learning environment inside the classroom. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Alex. Here's Charlene Cristobal now with your WCTV must-see. Good morning, Charlene.
Good morning, guys. Well, we've shown you people finding snakes in their toilets, but this is something new. Take a look. It is a possum in the toilet. Give it a second. Watch him lift up the seat. There's the possum just sitting in the toilet. Nigel's Animal Rescue in Australia got the unusual call. Apparently, the possum had traveled up through the plumbing and into the toilet bowl. He was just resting when the homeowner found him. Nigel said the little guy must have tired himself out. He said it is the first time they've had to rescue a possum out of the toilet. Take a look at this next one.
In Hernando, Mississippi, where there's been spottings of a cougar, and that's not it. That looks like a house cat.
And this cat was just looking for his 5 minutes of fame. WHBQ was doing a live report about cougar sightings, and as the reporter was showing the area where people have seen them, he and his photographer saw a little house cat sitting exactly in the same spot. Now, the cat didn't even seem to notice he was on TV, but I'm sure that everyone in the control room back there was laughing.
What are the odds,
hilarious.
right?
And that reporter was so animated right there, and it was a little cat.
And that's not it. That's just a house cat. And he's just chilling there. He's just like, whatever.
Cue the cat. You know.
I know, right?
He just wanted to see what was going on out there.
You know.
That is pretty
Is this
good.
where the cougar was? Let me sit here real quick.
Right.
That possum, Charlene.
Got the possum in the toilet?
This is why you
do
look in
this
the
to us in the
toilet
morning?
before.
Oh my gosh.
Always look before you sit.
That's probably good advice.
I would freak out.
It's probably good advice.
Yeah.
You think you'd notice something like that, but hey. You know.
I mean, people haven't noticed those big snakes sitting in there, so why?
Well, if you really got to go, you might just plop down, you know, and not realize.
All right, and with all that in mind, let's talk a little weather out there for you. On a Tuesday morning that finally feels maybe a little bit more fall-ish outside. Now, we do still have some clouds around to our south, to our east. There are even still some showers as that boundary that brought us some more showers and a couple rumbles of thunder yesterday afternoon and evening makes its way a little bit more to the east as it continues to move a little further to the south and east. We'll likely scour out the remaining clouds eventually today. And with more sunshine and still that breeze, mainly from the north, we're going to bring in more of that cooler fall-like air. Now, I think for the next couple of days, things stay that way. That boundary is not going to cleanly get all the way through the southeast. What will happen is it'll get hung up to our south, but we should be on that cooler side. Now, eventually, with the core of the cooler air not making it here, we're not going to stay like this. Things are going to start to creep back up temperature-wise, so this may be more of a little taste of fall than actually turning into that fall-like setup that we're hoping for. 24-hour temperature cast, though, does want to keep those temperatures in the 70s today. That'll be